A friend is getting married soon. She seeks my counsel concerning her upcoming reception. I told her recently, this is a very special time. You only get married once, twice, maybe 3 times in your whole life, and you should have everything just the way you want it. My own weddings, all 3, while none were what you'd call traditional, have provided me with a certain reputation for expertise. I know 3 weddings sounds like a lot, but hey, most people I know have had at least 3 serious relationships. I used to say that I never dated, I just got married. But the truth is, I married the 3 men I dated. My first wedding was from a high school drug-induced romance. In and out doesn't count. This was West Texas, after all, where backseat drive-in movie courtships have been a mainstay of family life for generations. I barely remember this event other than it took place on Christmas Eve. Wedding number 2, well, it was a drug-induced college romance, and we practiced living together first. Again, it took place on a holiday in Austin, Halloween. We rented costumes and invited everyone we knew except our families. The bride, a pregnant clown with red nose, giant shoes, bozo hair, and the groom, the great white hunter. Our attendants came dressed as a nun, my friend Pat, a product of Catholic school, and Jesus, complete with crown of thorns and fake blood. The Austin Hip Justice of the Peace performed the ceremony in a Zorro mask. I'd made pumpkin cakes for days, and we filled a new garbage can with sangria to accompany the keg of Lone Star. Our friends came from as far away as Houston to find oblivion in our yard, and find it they did. I had stayed clean and sober for this party, but did overindulge in the sweet wedding cake. By 11 o'clock, the keg was floating and the house was empty except for me and the nun. Suddenly, I began experiencing abdominal pains and spewing like Mount St. Helens. I was unsure if these were labor pains, but I knew I wasn't supposed to be upchucking, so we sped to the ER and pulled up to the automatic door still in costume. After several hours of prodding and peering, pregnancy is not for the shy, I'll tell you, during which my rented costume was cut open from stem to stern, the doctor decided I'd merely consumed too much cake and released me with a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. I made my way to the waiting room to collect Pat the nun and go home. She was nowhere. I had her paged. No response. So I called my house, and my new spouse answered, sounding oddly awake. He hadn't realized I wasn't there, but Woody said, pick me up. After waiting way too long a time, I looked up to see our Messiah and the great white hunter as they came bouncing down the hall, laughing hysterically. I drove us home. A few hours later, I was awakened by an irate phone call from Pat. She'd fallen asleep on the floor of the cafeteria and was wakened by a nurse. Sister, are you all right? Whereby she'd leapt to her feet and said, holy shit, where's the baby? It was quite a wedding night, but was it all a dream? The last time I got married, I wore a creamy white silk dress and walked down an aisle. It took place in an elegant hotel, and we had a 3-tiered wedding cake. I was given away by my 9-year-old son in a tux. 150 guests danced and drank from an open bar and a champagne fountain. I was too excited to consume more than a single glass of champagne, but a gram of the white powder kept me perky. It was a real wedding. Pictures were taken, and we had a lovely time as best I can remember. But not the folks who wished us well or the months of perfect planning could save this one. The nicest wedding I ever gave still bottomed out. Relationships take effort. Perhaps they should not be entered into officially while under any influence other than love and mutual concern. Love can be a dangerous intoxicant as it is, and might be better served if released in tiny time capsules so that it doesn't happen too fast and leave you to wake up with such a hangover. I will go next week and wish my friends all the best. I know that it's possible that this couple will one day end up divvying up all the presents that they're opening, but maybe not. And who wants to go through this life without at least the possibility of happily ever after?